Good evening and welcome parents, family, friends, Superintendent Willis, members of the North Reading School Committee, North Reading High School faculty, and the students of North Reading High School's class of 2012. How about this weather tonight? It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the 55th commencement exercises for North Reading High School. Each year, as I begin the task of writing my commencement speech, I reflect on the experiences I have witnessed as shared by the graduating students, and I use these reflections to craft a theme for my remarks. And each year, as the senior year progresses, it often becomes increasingly clear to me that which stands out most among the students that separates one class from another. For the class of 2012, the last few weeks have been especially poignant. There is great personality among the classmates, sincere friendship and support. You have consistently defined yourselves with class and dignity, and you have served as fine young representatives of your school, your community, and your families. I must tell you that I am exceedingly proud to know each and every one of you. In September of 2008, our graduates and I were formally introduced to one another, and it was at that time that I first had the opportunity to welcome you into the North Reading High School family and to communicate my expectations of you. From that point, together, I believe, we have come to appreciate many things. What has been most enjoyable and rewarding for me is that you have come to exceed all that has been expected of you. You have exceeded high expectations in terms of your academic achievement, with respect to your service to school and community, your support for each other, and in your spirit as a class. It is quite evident that you are leaving your high school a better place, having given much more than you have taken. I think it is true to say that we all have our expectations. It is true to say as well that some days we exceed them, and today is certainly one of those days. Expectations can be strange things. Some days you may have expected the worst, only to find that things were not quite as bad as you had feared. Or maybe you have found that the expectations you had of yourselves were perhaps a little too low. I wonder what you expected to feel today. Probably and hopefully you are surprised to find that an event like your graduation from high school means much more to you than you could have thought. Or maybe you have been told at some point not to get your hopes up because you won't be let down when you don't realize what you had expected. Now, you might know this as expect the worst and you won't be disappointed, or even don't dare to dream because you are bound to fail. Now, whoever believes this may not amount to all that he or she could. Rather, think of each day as important than the one that had preceded it. And this is true for everyone here today. It is true for your parents and members of your family and for your friends. It is true for your teachers, and it is true for me, even though you might think that we have gotten used to graduations by now. The fact is that every graduation is different for us, and every one of you, as an individual and collectively, means something special to us. Today is unique and special for all of us, and we stand here filled with immense pride in your accomplishments and with excitement for all that your future has in store for you. You are here filled with mixed emotions, I would imagine. Along with your relief, there is gratitude for those who have taught you and for your parents and families who have supported you and loved you unconditionally. They are the ones who found the patience to understand and deal with you when you weren't quite feeling so enthusiastic. And it is my hope that you are feeling proud today, proud of what you have achieved, and also optimistic for the future. And there may be regret and relief as well. Relief in that you have gotten to this point, and maybe regret at what you will be leaving behind. And mixed together in all of these feelings will be your memories of the past and your dreams for the future. They might be dreams of exploration and dreams of great adventure and discovery. All of these dreams are real and they are very possible. Never let your fears or fear of failure rule your lives. Expect the best from yourself and you will not be disappointed. If you begin by thinking that something will be bad or that you will be unable to do something, you will lessen your chances of accomplishment. Fear of failure will haunt your lives and you will be unable to achieve any of your dreams. We are all afraid at times and we all fail at times. That is precisely why we face our fears and try to expect the best from ourselves. Your teachers and I and your parents are no different. We all have worries and we all have fears and anxieties, and many of these are and will continue to be for you. But today we rejoice in how far you have come and in all that you have achieved. Today all the fears and worries have proved unfounded. You are ready to enter the next chapter in your lives where many unknowns await you. Expect the best from yourselves and keep your expectations high. I have every confidence that you will do what the best of us can, and you will find that the world is an exciting, challenging, and rewarding place. Your opportunities are as vast and exciting and rewarding as you wish them to be. Your challenge will be to rise up and meet it head on. Do this and you will not be disappointed. Always remember that you can make a difference, so go out there and make the world a better place and continue to exceed expectations, for you have demonstrated that you are well prepared and capable of doing so. And speaking of exceeding expectations, I do wish also to acknowledge the remarkable career of Mr. Frank Carey, who, as many of you know, is retiring as a physical education teacher after an amazing 47 years of service. An amazing 47 years of service to countless young people who have passed through the hallways, gymnasium, and baseball diamond. A graduation of sorts, Mr. Carey is only retiring as a teacher and will be returning as our beloved baseball coach next season, but before doing so, he must finish out this season. And congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for your long and outstanding service to North Reading, Frank. On behalf of all, especially the class of 2012, your last class, we wish you all the best in your retirement, and we look forward to seeing you here back at North Reading High School at the start of the 2013 baseball season. And to our graduates, please know that the class of 2012 will long hold a place in our hearts and in our minds for all that you have accomplished and for the lasting impact that you have had on North Reading High School. On behalf of all of us here today and all those supporting you in spirit unable to be here this evening, I extend to you my heartfelt congratulations and sincerest best wishes for much peace and happiness in all that you do. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, go in the direction of your dreams, live the life that you have imagined. May God bless you in the years to come, and may your futures be even brighter than your expectations today. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Miss Kathleen Willis.
Thank you, Mr. Bernard. Greetings to the school committee, parents, families, faculty, and friends, and congratulations to our North Reading High School seniors, the class of 2012. As Superintendent of Schools, it is my honor to extend my best wishes to you as you leave North Reading High School. Tonight, when you receive your diploma, know that you join other graduates from high schools across America in this time-honored tradition to mark the end of your kindergarten through grade 12 education. You have the distinction of being the 55th class to graduate from North Reading High School, and you are a class distinguished by many accomplishments in athletics, academics, and the arts. You have worked hard, persevered, achieved, and now you are ready to walk across the finish line. I am so proud to be standing before you this evening, but no prouder than those who have filled the stands to witness your transition from high school student to high school graduate. As students, you have been blessed with the support of many adults who care deeply about you and your welfare. I ask you to join me in thanking all of your teachers, support staff, coaches, advisors, and administrators for their contributions to your success. They are the reason why the North Reading Public Schools offers a world-class education. Yes, thank you. I too would like to give special recognition to Mr. David Griggs and Mr. Frank Carey, who are retiring at the end of this school year. Mr. Griggs has worked in the district as a speech and language therapist and now as an evaluation team chairperson since 1980. And Mr. Carey has served as a science and physical education teacher at North Reading High School since September of 1965. Congratulations, we'll miss you. Graduation is a time to look backwards as well as forward. The person you are today was shaped by many people and events that have touched your life along the way. Early on, your parents and your family were your entire world. They loved you and cared for you in a way that no others could. Senior Carly Goldberg reflects on the influence of her parents. Growing up in North Reading, I have found inspiration from many different individuals, but none more influential than my own father. From every step of my career as a student, he has been there supporting me the entire time. Knowing that I had somebody rooting for me no matter what gave me the motivation that I needed to succeed, both inside and outside of the classroom. Thank you, Carly. Throughout elementary school, and especially in middle school, you began to understand how important relationships are in your life. Parents, your very first teachers, were now joined by educators and other school personnel as important and influential adults who also cared about you and your well-being. They worked together to nurture a love of learning, a desire to be the best that you can be, and the courage to try something new and a little scary. Senior Sarah Murray remembers her experiences as a student. North Reading High School has given me the education and experiences that shaped me to be the person I am today. As a student representative to the school committee, I was one of the few students to have this great experience. No matter what I do in life, this school helped me in some way, and I will always be grateful for that. Thank you, Sarah. At the same time, the teachers began to influence your lives. Relationships with friends started to grow and develop. Those first friendships came about because you were classmates, or you were enrolled together in youth sports or other activities. You were drawn to those friends because you enjoyed their company and you shared similar interests. You learned what it meant to be a good friend, and you learned what it felt like when someone was a good friend to you. As you grew older, you made friends on your own, and they became so very important to you and are still important to you today. Senior Adam Sperry recalls two important relationships in his life at North Reading High School. In terms of those individuals with whom I had strong relationships, I'd have to say that Miss Fanouf and Nicole Orlanzo were the most valuable to me. Miss Fanouf taught me a great deal about how to be an individual and not question my true self. Nicole has been a great friend, someone who has given me advice on countless occasions and continues to be one of the most honest, intelligent, and selfless people that I know. Thank you, Adam. Whether it was a relationship with a parent, an educator, or a special friend, you have come to understand the power of positive personal relationships and their impact on your life. Remember that your personal and professional success depends as much on the quality of relationships as it does on how well you perform tasks. Positive relationships are the foundation of our greatest happiness, and happiness is good for your health. Hold your memories close and always treasure the life lessons you learned as you take that next step along your life's journey. Look fondly upon your years in North Reading. Try to keep in touch and make an effort to attend your class reunions. You'll be glad you did. In closing, I extend my sincerest gratitude to the North Reading community for your continued support of education. You entrust us with your children, and they continue to amaze us. I offer a special thank you to the school committee for their unwavering commitment to high-quality teaching and learning. And to the North Reading High School class of 2012, I wish you happiness, health, and success. Congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed.
So take the photographs and still brings in your mind. Good evening, parents, faculty, family, friends, and graduates. When I first received the news that I was going to be delivering the speech tonight, I was very excited. I tried to think about how I could best take advantage of this opportunity while also providing a somewhat memorable speech that wouldn't put you all to sleep with cliches you've all heard before. Luckily, several weeks ago, during Hive, we discussed the benefits of taking rational risks. So here's mine. I closed the book. First of all, I'd like to genuinely wish you congratulations. Whether or not you still think you're too cool for school, graduating high school is pretty significant and something to be proud of. More significant than a 2-hour ceremony and an all-night party at Chuck E. Cheese. So, hopefully, after this anticlimactic end to 12+ years of education has concluded, you can still remember the more important memories that marked your time here. Granted, I've never been one to sincerely discuss the sentimental things I've learned, or the people I've met, or the experiences I've had, or really anything. And I don't plan to start now. But I would like to share with you some interesting observations I've made about what it means to be a 21st century student. If you've attended an American public school in the last 5 years, I can guarantee you've heard numerous accounts of how students in the United States are drastically falling behind those in foreign nations. Many are concerned with how we'll ever be able to compete on an international level. Is the future of our country at risk? And most importantly, how can we possibly teach students without access to smartboards? Many of these concerns are valid, yet I can't help questioning the material nature of some of the solutions to these problems. How will things like iPads and, I don't know, collaborative benches help to inspire students to value education over the next Call of Duty game? I'm pretty sure the amount of sunlight in classrooms never affected my ability to take a test, and I'm also fairly confident that the tiling in the bathrooms never inhibited my note-taking. Sure, these improvements would be great, but if high school has taught me anything, it's that attractive appearances do not guarantee academic success. And I agree, it would be great to say that we have new science labs or more athletic fields in another school. But I think what's more important is learning to take the things you're given and make the best out of them. How's that for a 21st century concept? That being said, I think being a 21st century student or individual requires a degree of adaptation, no matter what you pursue after the ceremony. For example, apparently in most places it isn't required that you sign your name 4 times before using the bathroom. And I guess it also isn't customary to be forced into groups of peers and encouraged to build houses out of index cards. It's unfortunate that these extremely crucial skills may go to waste. Yet I am still encouraged by the many good experiences I've had with teachers at North Reading. Yes, it's easy for any student to criticize any teacher, especially with the popular "he doesn't teach" complaint. As true as it may be, I think this misses the point. The ability to draw the structure of DNA may not be important to many of us, but as a wise old man of about 100 years once told me, it's about learning how to learn. So, although I may never again find myself conjugating French verbs, I do feel comfort in knowing I will possess the means to best analyze and approach whatever task I am faced with. I think this is a concept that's important to any 21st century education, and I do believe it's one our teachers at North Reading have all exposed us to, if not given us extensive practice with. Before I get too serious, if I could leave you with one final message of truly inspirational words, it would be to recognize that we will not always be the North Reading High School seniors. I don't know why you would ever want to restrict yourself to such an unfortunate standard. As I see it, This graduation is our opportunity to change our fate and not resign ourselves to being a North Reading family forever. Speaking of overused cliches, many would also say that students of the 21st century are less social than those of other eras. However, I think a quick glance at the heinous cries for attention I see on Facebook daily would suggest otherwise. I think this observation is not to be overlooked. Maybe instead of dwelling on our high school nostalgia, we could take the best that we've gained from the many social aspects of our life, from our friends, family, teachers, and mentors, and use that to move on as adults. If you really want to relive your glory days, look in the yearbook. Or, instead, think about the hopefully promising future before you. If all goes well, these 4 years should seem like a blur. This may already be true for some of you. I agree, this prospect seems daunting, but the reality is, no matter what we do or where we go after this graduation, we will continue learning. And I think it's the important relationships we made thus far that will be most helpful in supporting us through this never-ending 21st century process. Anyway, we're adults now, and it's time to start acting like it. Now enjoy your pizza and ice cream at Giggles Comedy Club. I'm Ryan Donegan, the official class cynic. Thank you for listening. Good night.
Ryan didn't put it to the right page. Okay. Once again, good evening, class of 2012, family members, faculty, Mr. Bernard, Mr. LaPrette, and Superintendent Willis. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this special day. While we're here to acknowledge the accomplishments of the class of 2012, I'd like to recognize everyone else involved in getting us to this point. First, thank you to our parents for providing us with unwavering support and unconditional love. Thank you to the teachers who listened to what we had to say, treated us with respect, and helped us to grow. And finally, thank you to Mr. Bernard, Mr. LaPrette, and the rest of the staff outside of the classrooms, especially Mr. Rosa and the rest of the guidance department, for having the answer to all my questions no matter how many times I went back. With the combined support of all of you, the class of 2012 has finally reached the peak of our high school careers. Now that we're at graduation, we clearly see that getting here has been an uphill battle. Most days in school, the time seemed to drag by. In between PowerPoints, worksheets, and tests, we would glance at the clock every 5 minutes, stare out the window, let our thoughts trail off to our weekend plans, and sneak a text under the desk. The couple weeks between February break and April vacation stretched out for eternity, and as the warm weather came, we could hardly bear to be inside all day, calculating velocities and reading Shakespeare. Each individual day felt slow, but overall the time moved fast. Who knew 4 years could pass so quickly? It seems as though just last year we were the nervous freshmen trying to find our way in a new school. We didn't know how to walk the right way in the halls or how Powerblock works, but we each found our own unique place in the school through clubs, sports, and meeting new classmates who turned into friends. Suddenly we were sophomores and happy not to be the youngest in the school anymore. As we got the hang of pushing through the viewing intersection, we also started navigating the roads and finally getting our driving permits and licenses. Then we were stressed out juniors taking harder classes. For some of us, that meant dressing up for A-Push or doing 5 chapters of AP Chem notes in one night. We had to tackle standardized tests, giving up our Friday nights and Saturday mornings to take hours of SATs. But we also enjoyed increased freedoms as we got older. We had the chance to meet our exchange students, Julius and Mina, and we took advantage of the absurd amount of snow days we had. Finally, the year we wanted the most snow days and had none, our senior year. It was our turn to yell seniors in the hall and talk of our lack of motivation to senioritis. We had a successful senior skip day too, back on December 23rd. We watched the boys cheerleading at our Mexican-themed pep rally, and the girls' powder puff team beat the juniors after. Through the thrill of starting the end of our time here, we felt the pressure of applying to college and deciding our futures outside of this small town. Even though each individual year we spent looking forward to the next vacation, high school as a whole flew by. There are many important events, such as big sports games and meets, master sleighs, and school dances. But just as memorable were some of the days in between these events. Just as much as we remember prom, we can't forget the weekend nights spent simply hanging out with friends that we wished would never end. The best part of high school was laughing with each other and forming some lasting friendships. Whether it was dancing in our slam power block with Miss Skinner, or TPing with the sports team, for every day we said we could not wait to escape this town. We have a memory that we would not have wanted to miss. Looking towards the future, who knows what lays ahead for each of us. No matter what we choose, we will each have the memories from high school to take with us. The education we received here did not take place mainly in the classroom. The part of high school that matters the most is what we learned from each other along the way. Preschool and kindergarten taught us the basics of life, such as making friends, sharing, and counting. Similarly, high school taught us lessons we needed to learn to make the leap from children to adults. We learned how to write an essay in 20 minutes during our lunch, and how to be a good friend. During our time here, we've undoubtedly made many mistakes, some of which we definitely regretted at the time. But in the long run, each mistake has taught us an invaluable lesson. Whether we like it or not, this town and our peers that we've gone through high school with are a piece of who we are. Today is the day for us to move on from this part of our lives. For all of us, regardless of our plans next year, in 1 year's time, so many aspects of our life will have changed. As we move on, we begin to make new memories with new people in new places. But as we go through this, we will carry with us the memories and lessons learned at North Reading High School. All the unknown looming ahead is beyond exciting, but also intimidating. When the future begins to seem overwhelming, I leave you with words from Abraham Lincoln. The best part of the future is that it comes one day at a time. Thank you.
I would like to start off by first thanking the faculty of North Reading High School, who I've gotten to know in my time here. You have helped to make the years that I have spent at this school some of the best years of my life. I would also like to thank my mom, my dad, and my sister for always supporting me wholeheartedly through my years of high school and beyond, and my grandparents and other family members for being here today. When I walked through the doors of North Reading High School for the first time as a freshman in the summer of 2008, I was in the same boat as everyone else. I was nervous, excited, and not quite sure of what was to come. Now, 4 years later, we all find ourselves in a similar situation. Sure, we're all looking forward to moving on into the world and to explore opportunities that weren't available to us before, but none of us really know what our futures hold. Our paths are all different, but the one thing we have in common is that uncertainty lies ahead. It is paradoxical, then, that we're all united by the fact that none of us will have the same experiences in our lives. Aside from that, nobody knows what's in store when we leave this school. Some of us will enter the workforce, others will go to college, and a few may choose to join the military. And for those who do choose to serve our country, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you on behalf of the entire North Reading community. The bravery you show is something that we will all be proud of, and I speak for everyone when I say thank you for your courage to serve this great nation. With the broad spectrum of career paths that we will all be following, it can be difficult to give some kind of universal advice that can apply to everyone. However, I would like to share one story from my time at North Reading High School. Now let me start by saying that in my freshman and sophomore years, I was one of the least athletic people around. I was certainly never the first one picked for any games, and I always dreaded the physical fitness examination in gym class. In the summer going into my junior year, on a slow afternoon, I was putting off my summer reading and other assignments. I was bored. I didn't have much to do, and a part of me had gotten tired of sitting around. So I decided to run around my street a few times. The next day, I went outside and did it again, and again the following day. The first 2 weeks of this were admittedly painful and difficult, but after that, something inside me changed. I found that I was actually enjoying running, and I was looking forward to getting outside every day. I stuck it out and joined the indoor track team in my junior year. I was never an outstanding runner. I certainly didn't compare with the better athletes on the team. but I learned that you don't need to be the best at something to enjoy it. My advice today is to try new things, to approach situations with a positive, open attitude, and to never give up no matter how hard things get. If you don't try different things, you might miss a chance to find something you really love. If you have a prejudiced attitude toward an activity before starting, then there's no way it will be enjoyable. And if you give up when things look the worst, you'll never get the satisfaction of conquering a monumental task once those challenges have been overcome. Now, whether or not these past 4 years of our lives were our best years is still unknown. Because again, none of us know what the future holds. Some people will look back on high school with a feeling of happiness and nostalgia. And for others, the good times are just starting. However, it is undeniable that we have all had good times and bad, highs and lows that have fundamentally changed who we are. And now, as we receive our diplomas and celebrate this moment in our lives, these past 4 years will start to fade into our memories, becoming more and more blurry as the years pass by. But whether or not we can remember the details of our years here is irrelevant. What matters is how we have grown and changed during our high school years, and how we will continue to change in the years ahead thanks to our high school experiences. Some of us will remain strong friends. Others will drift away to meet new people and see new places. But this change, for better or worse, and let's hope it is for the better, is simply a part of life, and this change is one that should be celebrated. So, as we prepare for what will be one of the biggest transitions in our lives, let's take one collective look back at our years here at North Reading High School, at the times you'll want to remember, like Mr. Doucette's or Mr. Emerton's classes, winning an important game, or getting a good grade in a class in which you had to study hard for. And let's also take a look back at the times we'll want to forget, like Mr. Dorval shouting at his students, bombing the AP tests, or staying up until 4 in the morning to finish a project that was started the night prior to when it was due. And I did that a lot. Let's remember all of these times now, before they all become nothing but faded memories. And maybe you'll be able to carry a good memory or a valuable lesson with you for the rest of your lives. And thank you to everybody here today, the students, the faculty, and I wish all of those who are graduating today nothing but the best in your lives ahead. Thank you very much.
Throughout the 4 years that I have spent at North Reading High School, I have seen many changes. I have seen myself change, I have seen my friends change, and I have seen the school itself change. When this graduating class first stepped foot in the North Reading High School as students, we had no idea what to expect. We went from being the oldest kids in middle school to the youngest kids in high school. We went from being the kids that younger students looked up to the kids that upperclassmen couldn't believe were actually in high school. But that was just another stage in our life, and so is this moment right now. We came into this high school together, and now we are prepared to leave it together. Since we entered the school, we have seen over 700 school days. 700 days that, at the time, couldn't have gone by any slower. But now that we are finally here on our graduation day, the day that we have all been anticipating for 4 years, I find myself wishing that I could relive some of those days. No matter how much trouble I had with some classes, no matter how many hours of sleep homework stole from me, no matter how many times I wish I could just leave the school, I am still going to miss every second of it, and I think all of you will miss it just as much as I will. In the 4 years that we have spent together, we have formed friendships and relationships with each other and with our teachers that will never be lost. We have helped each other through the worst times and enjoyed each other through the best times. We have experienced people leaving our lives, but more importantly, we have seen new people come into our lives. This day is the perfect combination of sadness, excitement, and optimism. Sadness, because the fact of the matter is that this is the last time that we will ever be all together as a class. This is the last time that we can look around and see all the faces that we have known since grammar school. But let us not mourn the fact that we are moving away from each other. Let us celebrate the fact that we got to this point together. Getting to this point was not easy for any of us, but we are here nonetheless. For every challenge that was thrown at us, we threw back a stronger solution. For every obstacle that stood in our way, we carved our own path around. Many emotions should be running through all of your heads right now. Excitement, nostalgia, remembrance, satisfaction. But one emotion that has no place in any of your heads today is regret. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would not change a single second of the last 4 years. I would not change any of my actions, and I would not take back any of my words. What we have done in the last 4 years have shaped us all as human beings, and I am proud to have spent this chunk of my life with you. But the past is not what matters in life. What really matters is where you are going. I am very confident that every single one of you will move on from today and find happiness and success in life, because everyone in this graduating class has the character and the qualities to do so. But we were not born with these qualities. They were taught to us. On that note, I think it is only appropriate for everyone to stand up and give a round of applause to the men and women of the North Reading High School faculty and staff, and most of all to our parents who stood by us through the good times and the bad. Special thanks to Mr. Carey for all of his years as the baseball coach and gym teacher. He is a true living legend, and he will continue on to find success as the baseball coach. Without the constant support from our teachers and parents, we would not be here today. However, I would be wrong to say that we ourselves do not deserve a lot of credit. So let's hear it for the North Reading High School graduation class of 2012. Thank you for lending me your ear tonight, and thank you for providing me with the 4 best years of my life.
We will now begin with the presentation of the scholarship awards, and I would like to extend, on behalf of our graduates, to the community of North Reading a very sincere thank you for the generosity that you have displayed once again in awarding these scholarships to our graduates. And I would ask, please, graduates, as your name is called, if you would please stand to be recognized. The Athletic Boosters President's Scholarships: Kyle Boucher and Alicia Kalos. The James R. and Barbara E. Aylward Memorial Scholarship: Nicholas Andre. The Medio E. Barrasso and Mary Barrasso Memorial Scholarships: Alexander Bean and Brianna Goddard. The Arthur A. Barressi Memorial Scholarship: Nicole Landry. The LD Bachelor of School Scholarships, Kathleen Nicosia and Adam Sperry. The Bay State Roofer Scholarship in memory of Dorothy Lord, Christina Beatrice. The Joseph R. Bernard Memorial Scholarship, James McMullen. The Kristen M. Callahan Memorial Scholarship, Ryan Donegan. The Chartwell's Nutrition Services Scholarship, Brianna Santella. The Peter Colford Memorial Scholarship, Renee Silva. The Ellsworth Croswell Memorial Scholarship, Leanne McNall. The Michael D. Giantomaso Memorial Scholarship, Alyssa Morahan. The Elks National Foundation Scholarship, Most Valuable Student, Ryan Donegan. The Fitzgerald Prize for Community Service, Brianna Santella. The Joseph V. Gavin III Keep the Faith Scholarship, Rachel Birmingham. The Stephen Gregory Scholarship, Jason Vella. The James Gregory Hannon Memorial Scholarship, Matthew Oxon. The Robert Hunt Memorial Scholarship, Jonathan Gravelisi. The David Jameson Memorial Scholarship, Colleen Finnegan. The Frederick A. Keyes Memorial Scholarships, Brianna Goddard and Matthew O'Brien. The League of Women Voters of North Reading Scholarship in memory of Frances L. Fraughton and Marcia E. Costanza, Emily Bean. The E. Ethel Little School Scholarships, Elizabeth Chee and Daniel McDonald. The Massachusetts AFL-CIO Scholarships, Julie Bash and Alexander Bean. The Massachusetts Elks Scholarship Major Project Award winner, Louis Liu. The Matthew McCarthy Memorial Scholarship, Olivia Bernard. The Walter Miller Scholarship, Eric Valenti. The Michael J. Mitten Memorial Scholarship, Julie Dale. The Moynihan Lumber Scholarship, Brittany Strawn. The North Reading Community Choral Scholarships, Brittany Leonard and Leanne McNall. The North Reading Education Association Scholarship, Lauren Spina. The North Reading High School Hockey Boosters Scholarship, Eric Valenti. The North Reading Historical and Antiquarian Society Scholarship, Emily Shapiro. The North Reading Little League Scholarships, the Philip Dardino President's Award, Jonathan Gravelisi, and the Leadership Award, Jessica Valenti. The North Reading Lodge of Masons Scholarship, Catherine Bernardo. The North Reading Music Boosters Scholarships, Mary Casey Cartwright, Colleen Finnegan, Leanne McNall, Emily Penta, and Jack Warren. The North Reading High School Parents Association Scholarship, Julie Bash. The North Reading Rotary Club Scholarship, Brittany Bythrow. The North Reading Youth Basketball Scholarships, Colleen Finnegan and Lauren Witskill. The North Reading Youth Football League Scholarships, Elizabeth Burgess and Jason Vella. The North Reading Youth Lacrosse Scholarships, Cody Carboni, Brian Conway, Christopher Scipoletti, and Eric Valenti. The North Reading Youth Soccer Board of Directors Scholarship, Elizabeth Chee. The North Reading Youth Soccer Scholarship in memory of Janet Connolly O'Neill, Kristen Landry. The North Reading Youth Soccer Scholarships, Christopher Scipoletti, Brian Smith, and Jessica Valenti. The John Norton Community Service Award Scholarship, John Elliott. The Frank L. Prusik Knights of Columbus Scholarship, Emily Penta. The Reading Cooperative Bank Scholarship, Tyler Stanich. The St. John's Church Scholarship, Julia Kelleher. The Edward A. Sapienza Scholarship, Gregory Bugley. The Bonnie Gay Symes Memorial Scholarship, Julia Kelleher. The James Skinner Memorial Scholarship, Olivia Bernard. The Richard K. Smith Scholarship, Brianna Cotis. The Paul and Barbara Titus Memorial Scholarship, Jonathan Gravelisi. The Catherine F. Welsh Memorial Scholarship, Daniel McDonald. The following students are the recipients of the Citizens Scholarship Foundation scholarships for the class of 2012, in alphabetical order. Nicholas Andre, Julie Bash, Rachel Birmingham, Talia Coroniti, Jason Danis, Colleen Finnegan, Brianna Goddard, Kurt Jenny, Julia Kelleher, Nicole Landry, Louis Liu, Daniel McDonald, Colleen McDonald, Leanne McNall, Sarah Murray, Kathleen Nicosia, Madeline Pulver, Adam Sperry, Tyler Stanich, and Reed Warnock. Congratulations, students.
Superintendent Willis, Mr. Webster, on behalf of the faculty and staff of North Reading High School, it is my great pleasure to present to you the following members of the class of 2012 who have satisfied the requirements of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the North Reading Public School System to receive their high school diplomas. Alexander William Bean. Brianna Lee Goddard. Ryan Patrick Donegan. Ryan Douglas Finch. Emily Catherine Bean. Julie Elizabeth Bash. Sarah Jane Murray. Nicholas Scott Andre. Brittany Rose Strawn. Samantha Catherine Abatessa. Christina Maria Adonisio. Michael Dean Antonucci. Patrick Leo Bean. Christina Rose Beatrice. Olivia Rose Bernard. Catherine Mary Bernardo. Rachel Pauline Birmingham. Philip Emerson Bishop. Kyle Dennis Boucher. Dana Thomas Bourne. Michael Sean Brogan. Gregory Stephen Bugley. Elizabeth Ann Burgess. Brittany Joyce Bythrow. Daniel Richard Cady. Alicia Christine Kalos. Tyler John Kennedy. Jeremy Michael Pangiano. Cody Dean Carboni. Mary Catherine Cartwright. Elizabeth Yolanda Chi. Allison Brittany Christian. Brian Cooper Conway. Kathleen Elizabeth Corbett. Talia Elizabeth Coroniti. Michael Anthony Coriali. Robert Van Cresta. Robert John Croswell. Kelly Nicole Canine. Andrew Mark Dager. Julie Ann Dale. Michael Ryan D'Amico. Rachel Michelle Damon. Jason Alexander Dennis. Jennifer Mason DePaulo. Kyle Alfred DePinto. Cole William DeStasio. Amanda Barron Doran. Alicia Marguerite Downs. Austin Al Dugas. Kimberly Alicia Durham. John David Elliott. Richard Zachary Falcione. Melina Marie Federico. Pauline Ellen Finnegan. Andrew Lehman Flaherty. Kaylee Danielle Flanagan. James Paul Forgione. Matthew James Foss. Matthew Edward Freelinger. Michaela Martha Fritsch. Ariana Conchetta Fusco. Carly Samantha Goldberg. William Jared Goldstein. Jonathan Earl Gravelisi. Sarah Lynn Green. Drew Alexander Griswold. James William Harris. Lauren Ruth Heber. Catherine Rose Hilliard. William Alfred Holtzberg. Kevin Christopher Hood. Kurt Nicholas Jenny. Tyler John Kelleher. Julia Christine Kelleher. Rebecca Mary Kelly. Kathleen Ann Kerrigan. Ian Cameron Kilpatrick. Matthew King. Brianna Lynn Cotis. Melissa Marianne Core. Kristen Perry Landry. Nicole Yvette Landry. Brittany Shannon Leonard. Louis Chenkit Liu. Michael Anthony McDonald. Ryan James McGuire. David Joseph Marr. Timothy Dennis Marr. Mark Savas Mandeville. Jack Michael Manning. Catherine Ann Mazzoni. Connor Neil McCusker. Daniel Brendan McDonald. Pauline Isabella McDonald. James Connor McMullen. Leanne Grace McNall. Alyssa Eve Morahan. Eric John Morrison. Joseph Jalali Mubish. Jessica May Needham. Kathleen Ann Nicosia. Matthew Glenn O'Brien. Michael Thomas O'Brien. Matthew Jonathan Oxen. Jennifer Rose Honorato. Nicole Marie Orlonzo. Shannon Mary O'Rourke. Christian Joseph Paoni. Christina Alexandra Pappas. Michelle Nicole Paris. Stephanie Marissa Pasquale.
My cousin!
Melissa Marie Catalano. Emily Virginia Penta. Dylan Robert Poore. Melissa Elaine Potter. Jessica Lynn Prince. Madeline Elisa Pulver. Patrick Brian Bardiello. Christopher Robert Forty. Emily Grace Quinlan. Naeem Rahman. Evan Scott Rackison. Stephen Edward Reynolds. Brian Patrick Ritchie. Thomas James Rooney. Caitlin Marie Rubin. Courtney Marie Russell. Megan Nicole Richwad. Brianna Marie Santella. Olivia Louise Sanasuaso. Kristen Monica Scandora. Christopher James Scipoletti. Joshua Kenneth Scott. Emily Catherine Shapiro. Emily Elizabeth Shaw. Julia Mary Shaw. Tiffany Marie Silva. Renee Cecilia Silva. Brian Robert Smith. Jake Tyler Snow. Erica Maria Spellman. Adam David Sperry. Lauren Joan Spina. Tyler Robert Stanich. Cynthia Ty Sue. Judy Ty Sue. Victoria Percy Sutherland. Kimberly Joanne Tower. James David Tringali. Eric Jackson Valenti. Jessica Lee Valenti. Laura Amy Van Beaver. Jason Joseph Vella. Rebecca June Verkamen. Kimberly Elizabeth Verney. James Michael Vesey. Christopher Thomas Vozella. Reed Alton Warnock. Jack Turner Warren. Jacqueline Rose Whalen. Ryan Michael Wicker. Carolyn Sarah Wilson. Dylan Timothy Wing. Lauren Rose Witzel. Nathan David Woundy. Ladies and gentlemen, families and friends, I present to you an exceptional group of students. These are the graduates of North Reading High School class of 2012.
Good evening, everybody. The class of 2012 will always be remembered as the senior class who was present at the time of the approval of the new school. That is why our senior gift this year will mean so much, because we will be leaving a mark at our school that we will not physically be able to attend.
As a result, we decided on a stone hornet decoration that will be placed in the front entrance of the new school. The hornet... The hornet is the one symbol we will recognize and identify with forever.
We just wanted to thank the class of 2012 for an amazing year. From the pep rally, the senior trip, to the prom, to the rest of senior week, everything was a success, and we couldn't have done it without our advisors, Mr. Doucette and Mrs. Diozzi. Thank you so much for your time and effort. We loved working for you guys, and we wish you all the best of luck in all your future endeavors, and congratulations, because we did it!
And now, ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2012, if you could please join me in moving your tassels to the left-hand side of your mortarboard as a symbol that you've all graduated from North Reading High School. Congratulations.